Hey everybody. So, one second. I'm cracking a water. And I just want to talk for a minute about, you know, our social ethics. Having consideration for people that you may not know what their situation is. This person could be having a bad day. Another person could be ill, not feeling well, or even just angry or have an attitude. Either way, so you got to learn to deal with them and be a productive and progressive person. Because some people just don't have the energy on days. And if they don't, I mean, there's nothing you can change about that. But if you can make a difference, why not? There's so many people that this thing is hard, can live their lives with no regrets and not even having an ounce of sympathy for a person that they could have hurt. There's accidents that happen every day. Who's to say that is something that can be prevented? I mean, sure, if we all had robot cars like the Jetsons and we, sorry, God, it's good though. But if we all had robot cars that actually told us where to go, like the new Teslas, they're cool. And we had obstacles to pretty much keep us from running into each other, there won't be no accidents. Then there goes the insurance industry. I mean, we gotta be productive in the sense of being able to ensure that everybody in the area can assemble and maintain. If there's no maintenance to anything in the area, you get people that have just run down property value and buildings and whatever else in the community, and it ends up being dirt. Well, what I want to talk to you guys about today is how our social ethics can maybe change the way people look at you and the way that people attract themselves to you. Now, growing up as a kid, I've always been a happy person. My mom, she always gave me stuff to do that, kind of built my brain skills and kind of gave me a challenge. So I've really lived a life where I'm just a kid, a happy kid, just, not afraid to speak up for myself, basically. On a day to day basis, I try to communicate with people in a way to where they A, understand my point, B, understand that I'm not to be a threat, and C, to understand that it's an economy thing and the economy has to go on. Well, being so, everybody's ideology isn't the same. So you can't make a person produce your business the way you would produce it or the way others in your community would produce it. So, I mean, life is hard, but it's even harder when you have the stigma of having to work harder or having to work under circumstances that you feel uncomfortable. Some things don't have to be said in order for things to happen. I mean, everybody's not comfortable in their own skin. And it's hard for some people to just get on YouTube or get on TV and be able to perfect all their lines or perfect what they want to say. It just doesn't happen like that unless they've been practicing for a while and they've been doing it for a while and they're happy with what they're doing. or it doesn't happen. I mean, when else do you know it'll happen for a person to just be authentically entertained in something that they don't know nothing about? It's very rare. And when that comes to be a part, you get things like people that are artists, people that are musicians, people that are, creators, people that are making a change. So, in the same sense, if you never try and fail, you'll never gain the knowledge of knowing what's actually the right way to produce economics in a social setting. Yeah. Just something I want to get off of my mind. I live in an area where it's very city like, and cars just ride up and down the street every day. And I think to myself sometimes, I'm like, I wonder, do the cars know that you know it's people that's going home to their families every day, or I wonder, do the cars have consideration a lot of times for other drivers? And there was an accident here in Wisconsin. I'm in Wisconsin. I live in the Milwaukee area. This was on, I believe it was Lincoln Avenue. There's a car that pretty much lost control. You could tell the way the car was driving, like it looked like they was just driving too fast, and they tried to maybe move out the way of a person getting in the car, or maybe trying to avoid a slicker patch of ice. Whatever the case may be, they totally lost control of their wheel, and they ran into this car. Now, the street they were on is a very narrow street. Why would you be speeding in that kind of area, and it's a school there? There's nursing homes in this area. There's a lot of people that could have been hurt in this accident. They actually did a 180 sliding down the street, and they ran into this mother and son that were in the car, and the mother actually died from the accident. So I don't know what it is with people with having consideration for others, with having the thought of, you know, just the common sense rather. Because these people they even ran out of the truck and was caught on video camera by a store that was in the area. And the community came together and they actually said, this is a terrible tragedy and we should find these people that did this. So one of the girls actually got scared and turned herself in. And hopefully she turned in the other people that were with her. I don't understand why they couldn't try to spare the lady's life or call for help immediately without it being onlookers having to come and, for them to do the right thing, for this lady to receive the kind of help she could have had. I just don't understand it. Yeah, it's like the world is so cruel now. Like, you're going fast. I know it's an accident. You just happen to run into this car. You don't know who's in the car, but your truck is very much bigger than the car and you're overpowering it. Why would you not check at least on the person that could have been in there? What if it was your kid? So some things doesn't take common sense to understand. Some do, and people just have to understand that you can't live your life unfruitful, but you also can't live it in the stupidity of not knowing that your neighbor could be hurt, or not knowing about the people in your community and how it would affect them. Um, yeah. So it's just something I want to get on my head. I was been watching the news and seeing everything on news broadcasts about this, and kind of struck a nerve with me because it was a single mother and they were coming home from church, and it's like everyday people are losing their lives to the ignorance. And it's not so much the ignorance of they didn't know, it's the ignorance of I don't care, I don't want to get caught. So, the judicial system should frown on this very much so, but I don't see how making an example of it will actually bring any kind of peace to the family that has lost, or that son that was in the car with his mother when she took her last breath. So, thanks everybody for listening. Um, Stay tuned. I'm gonna do more videos and talk about stuff that I think should be heard about different communities, different areas. I do travel and go to different places, and sometimes I might even get an interview here and there. So I just hope everybody that is watching and paying attention would, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to me, share, what have you, and I thank you. And any channels that you guys want to post or links you want to post down below, I will look at all of them and I'll share and like the same. So thanks again and stay tuned. Beijing Productions.